women absolutely hate each other. Women cannot stand one another. And there is actual psychological proof and research and studies that back this up. Because I know a lot of you guys, especially you guys who want to hate on me and hate on my topics and jump in my comment section and throw all sorts of poop and name calling and childish insults, want to constantly attack me and thinking I'm talking out of my ass, when the truth is I research every topic that I upload to my channel. But there is actual research backing up the fact that women actually do hate each other. I'm trying to get gas here, but I think I'm gonna go to the Chevron up the block. I just realized I'm in my Range Rover and not my Grand Cherokee. So I wanna put good gas in this thing. But make no mistake, women do hate each other. They can't stand one another. They are constantly trying to sabotage each other. And if you're a woman, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, especially if you're a woke woman, right? Woke woman who is red pill. Well, you don't have to be like super red pill, but red pill enough to realize that other women do not have your best interests at heart. That other women, including your own friends, your best friends, and your own family members, don't always have your best interests at heart if it does not benefit them directly or indirectly. Most women cannot stand seeing each other happy. Most women secretly try to destroy each other through manipulation, through friendship, through pretending that they have your back. Okay, and the actual research and studies prove that you can't trust women. What have I been saying on my channel the entire time? I've been saying you cannot trust women. This advice not only goes for men, but it also goes for you women who are watching my channel. You cannot trust your little girlfriends. I keep telling you girls this, as much as you hate on me, I keep telling you I am your best friend. I am telling you the truth. You cannot trust your girlfriend. You can trust me, a pickup artist, more than you can trust your own girlfriends. Okay, you can trust me, a guy on YouTube that you hate, that you despise. You can trust me more than your own little girlfriend, your besties, your family members. Okay, especially if you got a man right now. Because those girls, if they see you happy, the first thing that they're thinking is, how do I take her down a notch? How do I destroy what she has? How do I bring her down to my level of misery? How do I do it? I know. I'll pretend to be on her side. I'll gain her trust. I'll make sure she thinks I'm loyal to her. And just when she begins trusting me and putting her faith in me and putting her faith in my advice, that is when I'll screw her over and I will bring her down. I will bring her down to my level, because misery loves company and I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be the only single one in the group. I hate that she has this new man. I hate that she's in love. Your girlfriends just aren't happy for you. You know, whereas with guys, you know, if you're a dude watching this and one of your boys gets, you know, a cool chick, finally he finds a unicorn out there, you're like, man, good for you, dude. I'm happy for you. Whenever I have a buddy of mine, or especially a student who finds a unicorn and, you know, they decide to enter an LTR with that girl, I'm happy for that guy. You know, I'm happy for him. I'm like, good for you, man. You found what you were looking for. Even though personally me, I don't necessarily agree with marriage these days with as much as the state wants to involve themselves in our lives. I'd rather keep the state out of my life. But for a lot of guys, I mean, that is what they want to do. They want to get married. They want to have a family. They want to have kids. And I don't fault them for that. And if they find a good girl, I'm happy for them. Whereas for women, when you have a friend who finds a good man, and you know he's a good man, and you know that he can take care of her, and you know that that guy is high value, probably the highest value guy that chick will ever get, instead of encouraging her to make things work with him, encouraging her not to go clubbing anymore, encouraging her to be a good woman and a good partner for him, instead you sabotage her. You tell her, you know what, girl, he seems jealous to me. Let's test him. Let's go on a trip to Vegas this weekend. Let's disappear. Let's go clubbing behind his back. Let's meet some other guys. Let's meet some hotter guys. Let's see what they're about. Let's see if he reacts while he stays at home while we go clubbing and let 1,000 other horny guys in the club feel us up. Let's see how he likes that. You know, you sabotage your girlfriend. You know, you screw her over. You screw her over. And I've told this story before. My girlfriend from 2006, she lost me because she had her best girlfriend, her bestie since childhood, in her ear, being like, get rid of Matt, get rid of Matt. And not only her, but her auntie. Her auntie even was like in her ear, get rid of Matt, get rid of Matt. And because she trusted them, guess what? We broke up. We broke up because they wanted to start taking her clubbing. She met some other dude. Guy turned out to be low value. She tried to come back. Right? She tried to come back less than 2 months later. She tried to come back to me. And I said, nope. Done. I don't want you back. And this is a girl I loved. I cared about her. I would have married her. My old blue pill self. But, you know what? I was red pill enough to know not to take her back. It was more important for me to punish her for what she did wrong than it was for me to, you know, try to make things work with her. Because I grew up, unlike, you know, most of society these days, I had both parents in my life. I grew up with both parents. I had a mother and a father. And I had a very strict father. Okay? I had a very alpha father. A very strong father. Who had morals and was, you know, pretty alpha. He was a little violent actually back in the 70s, but then again, all parents were pretty violent back then. I have something in my mouth. All parents were pretty violent back then. You know, they just like whooped you, and you know, I'm not saying he like beat me with an open fist. I'm just saying like he spanked us. Okay, he used to spank us a lot with the belt and everything like that, and whenever we got out of line. But he was there for me, and you know, whenever I screwed up and did things wrong, he would correct me. You know, where a lot of kids don't have that these days. That's why they don't know any better. So when I had this girlfriend of mine, actually she was the last girl who dumped me in 2006, and she pulled that shit on me because her girlfriends were in her ear, and she listened to them. When she tried to come back, she was stunned. She was stunned that I didn't take her back. You know, as much as it hurt me too. It not only hurt her, it hurt me too. I was like, why did she have to do this? Why did she have to go there? Why did she have to listen to those stupid bitches? Even though I was telling her the whole time that they are trying to screw you over. Even back then, I was still blue pill, and I knew better. I was like, I don't know what they have against me. I didn't do anything wrong to them, but they're trying to screw you over because they're both single and they're both miserable and they don't want to be left behind. And they see you with me and they know that you're going to leave them behind. And she would have. She would have too. We were even talking about that. She was telling me she wanted to get away from her family and her best friends. I'm like, why would you want to get away from those people if you really truly believe that they have your best interest at heart? You know, I think deep down she realized that they didn't. But she listened to him anyway, and look what happened. Now she's a single mom. She's lost her looks. She has 2 kids from 2 different fathers, and she will never be able to lock down a high-value male again. Will definitely never be able to lock down a guy like me again. Ever. Ever. Why? Because she listened to those girls. And you are probably in the same position. Okay, you have girlfriends and female family members that you think that you can trust that you cannot. Okay, you cannot. And as I was saying, I am not pulling this out of my ass. Okay, that women hate each other. There is psychological proof, and if you don't believe me, you can Google it yourself. As a matter of fact, let's do that now. Okay, I've got my phone here. I'm just gonna do a quick search. And I think I've already got it up actually because I was looking for it. So all I put in the search engine, I don't know if you can see, it's a little blurry, is women hate each other. Go ahead and Google that, women hate each other, and you will come up with a myriad of topics here. So as I was saying, I always do my research before I upload any of these videos to my channel. Okay, they are well researched. So everybody that loves to go in my comments and hate on me and they throw out the personal attacks, you're shooting the messenger. I am telling you exactly what has already been factually and statistically proven. Okay, whereas you're just basing everything off of your feelings and your emotions and your own personal bias, like a child. Okay, like a child, when there's actual research out there. You know, instead of making yourself look ignorant and stupid, you should actually do the research. It's a simple Google search. So for tonight's topic, for example, women hate each other, go ahead and throw that in the Google search and you will come up with all sorts of evidence, research, facts, statistics. Here's one from Psychology Today, okay? And this one basically says, women who hate each other, women who hate other women, the psychological root of snarky. And I will just go ahead and read some of this to you, okay? And basically what this article talks about, and you can Google it yourself, just so you know, I'm not pulling this shit out of my ass. You can Google it yourself. It says, research shows that women, I don't know if you can see it, my phone's kind of bright, that women during the college years may have negative attitudes about particular types of other women. Studies have found that female college students were less likely to be friends with another female who was seen as sexually promiscuous when compared to the rate of male college students who wanted to be friends with a promiscuous male peer. The study showed that women clearly noticed that promiscuous women also had negative beliefs about her as a result. Okay, according to the study, women may be more sensitive than men to social exclusion. And when they feel threatened by the prospect of being left out, a woman's first response may be to socially exclude a third party. Again, for any woman who's been on the receiving end of a female bully, this will come as no surprise. In addition, when investigating relational aggression, the type of aggression females appear to engage in more frequently than males, who tend to engage in more physical aggression, is females tend to engage in more psychological aggression, which is basically saying that females are more manipulative, that they are more underhanded when it comes to showing their anger towards another person. In this case, another female, where men are more overt, okay? We don't hide our feelings. If some guy does something we don't like, or if a guy is taking shots at us, you know, he does it pretty overtly on the surface, and we challenge him on the surface. We're like, all right, let's fight, right? Let's settle this like men. Where women come at you with this fake smile like, hi, oh, hi, and they give you a hug. Oh, it's so good seeing you. When deep down, they're like, screw you, bitch. Okay, studies have found that girls were significantly more emotionally victimized, while boys were significantly more overtly victimized. Basically, it's just stating that it's reinforcing what I just said, that women are more emotionally and psychologically manipulative and underhanded, where men are more overtly aggressive. Okay, so with women, they'll come at you with a fake smile, the fake hello, and all that, where guys won't. I mean, if we don't like you, we'll be like, what's up, dude? You know, we're not going to hide it. Look, oh, hi, man. How you doing, buddy? We're not going to do that. We're just going to be like, yeah? What, dude? You know, do you want to sell this? Women don't play like that. Women are very sneaky. They're very underhanded. And this study is saying exactly what I'm telling you. It goes on to say, in talking about the influence a mother has on her daughter, we also have to talk about social learning theory. Social learning theory reminds us that modeling has much to do with how children learn. The real but graphic truth is, there are many mothers out there in the world who aren't so sweet to their own daughters and readily say and do things that would make any of us cringe. It's critical to note that much of what is said and done by mothers that is ultimately hurtful was engaged under the veiled intention of having her best interests. What does that tell you? This psychological study, which you can find on Psychology Today. I just showed you how to Google it. You can read this for yourself, just so you know I'm not bullshitting you. It says right here, in plain black and white, that even mothers, when dealing with their very own daughters, do things that they know will ultimately hurt them, that is sugar-coated under the guise of having her best interests. Studies have found that women who are mean-spirited about other women were often raised by a mother who probably didn't like herself and didn't feel warmly toward other women in general either. Surprise, surprise. The other factor that I see at work in my practice is anxiety. I find that the majority of female criticism actually stems from feeling inadequate in an area of their life that they highly value. For example, I have a female client who is extremely critical of other women's parenting styles, but it's simultaneously worth noting that she has had great difficulty becoming pregnant and is currently in the middle of fertility treatments. With my client, she feels inadequate and defensive, and she defends herself by criticizing other women's parenting styles. In other words, she's not critical of other women because she thinks less of them. She is critical of them because of what they have instead. So basically, it's, again, reinforcing exactly what I'm telling you guys about women, period, how manipulative they are and how underhanded they can be and how you cannot trust them to have your best interests at heart, especially if you're another woman. And I'm not going to read the entire study, but if you read more from this article, it tells you that women are not as harsh as they are on other women as they are on men. So women are actually take it easier on us because, you know, as guys, we always think the women are trying to crush us, but they actually take it easier on us than they do other women. Okay, and this last part that I just read to you about this woman who was being critical of other people's parenting styles because she herself could not get pregnant. This is something typical that women do. And you will see this very typically in my comment section below. Okay, and the reason why I bring up my comment section below a lot is because I constantly love dissecting the psychology of my haters. And since a lot of the haters tend to be female, and even if they're male, they have a lot of feminine traits. They were often raised by single mothers and they identify more with their feminine side than their masculine side. So even if they're male, they're technically still women psychologically, mentally, right? But when it comes to the women hating down below in my comment section, you'll notice they do a lot of self-projections, right? They'll say things like, oh, you had mommy issues, or oh, you must have been abused as a child. There's just a lot of shaming, a lot of name calling, a lot of character attacks that really reflect their own insecurities. They really reflect who they are. It's like a mirror staring right back at them. You know, so when a lot of you haters drop these comments down below and you think you're hurting me, one thing you forget is I've been teaching men self-development and self-improvement since the mid-90s, okay? I have studied psychology in college. I have read literally hundreds of books on female psychology and the human brain and male and female intersexual dynamics. Okay, you cannot fool me. You cannot get past me with your little, remedial playground worthy shaming tactics and name calling. All you're doing is exposing yourself for the pain you felt growing up. You feel me? So when these haters down below are saying things like, oh, you have mommy issues, or oh, who hurt you, or oh, you're just a bitter man, and all this stuff, what they're really saying and what they're really, telling me is that they're actually just self-projecting their own insecurities and their own self-esteem issues that they have themselves. Okay, turn the lights back on here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, for you idiots who keep asking what kind of car I'm driving and you're like, is it a minivan? Why are you shooting videos into your minivan? It's like, no, dude, this is a Range Rover Sport. It's not a minivan, sorry. But another self-projection. All right, so yeah, you have to understand that women, they self-project a lot, because I get a lot of guys who tell me that, hey, I shared some of your videos and man, I got blasted by all these women on my friends list, shaming me and trying to shut me down and trying to tell me that I have a small penis and that, I'm a lowlife and that I have daddy issues and mommy issues and I must have been abused as a child and, that I'm racist and I'm homophobic and all this other stuff. And what they're really doing is just self-projecting their own deepest insecurities onto you, okay? But on with this article about why women hate each other and why they can't stand each other. You could read through this for yourself. Okay, even they're even talking about Hillary Clinton when she was running for president in 2016. And this is why I don't believe a woman president could ever get elected by other women. Okay, if anybody's going to elect a woman to be president, it's going to be the fault of men not women. Okay, all the beta cucks out there who want to whoop out their pom-poms and cheerlead for the gynocracy, all you morons who want a female president just because she has a vagina, you will be responsible for the downfall of men if a Democratic female ever takes office. Okay, but back when Hillary was running for office in 2016, as this study says, and you probably can't see it, so I'm just gonna have to read it to you. The study says that things seem to look good for Hillary in 2016, and there are lots of other examples of the progress American culture has made in terms of gender equality. Bullshit, propaganda. Yet women continue to earn less money today than men and occupy fewer positions in politics and at the heads of Fortune 500 companies. Independent of what the research shows, it's understandable on a common sense level if women feel that they must work hard to secure whatever social power they can, and this may sometimes take the form of exclusionary practices with other women. When it comes to our kids, I believe okay, I don't know, that's bullshit. Okay, I'm gonna skip through that part. So this one psychologist is saying, the women I have seen clinically over the years also have reported far greater anxiety in the appearance department than men, and I see that the pressure women feel from men and the media to fit a certain physical type of thinness and beauty gets transformed to the point that they turn it on each other. Interestingly, one 2012 study from Snap and colleagues found that young women with high family support and low levels of perceived socio-cultural pressure from family, friends, and the media regarding the importance of achieving a thin and beautiful ideal had a more positive body image. It makes perfect sense too, so let's all agree to watch the amount of pressure we inflict on young girls. Alright. But this study says it all, and if it's not this study, I mean, we could go back to my original Google search here, which is basically women hate each other, and we could go to the next article from Market Watch, and we could click the second article, and it's really not much different. This one says, why women are meaner to each other than men are to women. Research from the University of Arizona indicates that women are ruder to each other than to men and meaner than men to women. So it's basically saying that it's Mean Girls, that's what it says here. It's Mean Girls, the adult version. A new study from University of Arizona management professor Allison Gabriel reveals that so-called queen bee syndrome, the phenomenon of powerful women being disliked, is very real, and that women are often meaner to each other than men are to women. The soon-to-be published study was based off of 3 surveys, each involving several hundred people. So this is basically just reinforcing what I'm telling you even further, that women, no matter how old they get, women are always going to act like little girls. They're always going to act like children. Okay, as I keep telling you guys, women are children. They never grow up. They're basically children in adult bodies. They treat each other as such. They're not nice. They're not even nice to each other. So what makes you think that you can trust them to be genuine with you when they can't even be genuine with each other? Okay, I've told you guys a million times over and over, you cannot trust women. I've told you women watching my channel, you cannot trust other women. You cannot trust your little girlfriends. Yet you continue to fight me on this, and the research is there. I told you, I do not pull things out of my ass. Every topic that I upload to my channel is well researched, as is with this video. Okay, and this one I'm just going to the extent to show you, because I'm tired of you guys like coming on my channel and being like, you know, you should stop spewing this spite and this hate and these biased opinions of yours. It's like, none of this shit is my opinion, girl. All right, it's not my opinion. These are facts. These are things that have been factually researched and proven by statistics. Okay, I'm not pulling any theories out of my ass. Okay, the only thing that I'm doing is I am reinforcing what has already been factually and statistically proven with my own experiences in field as a pickup artist over the last 2.5 decades, almost 3 decades now. I've been out there approaching tens of thousands of young, beautiful women, and I've been in hundreds of thousands of social interactions, group interactions, individual interactions. I've approached single sets, multi-group sets. I've just been dealing with social interactions and human behavior intensely for the last 2.5 decades, 3 decades that I've been, almost 3, that I've been out there approaching and taking students out, teaching men self-improvement, self-development, female psychology, and male to female interactions. All I'm doing is reinforcing the study and statistics with my own personal experiences as a pickup artist, as a professional pickup artist, as a guy who goes out there and cold approaches beautiful women every single week. I'm out there 4 to 5 times per week, still to this day. And I have been going out since I've turned 16 years old. Back when I was in high school, I had a fake ID. I used to go to the clubs. That's where I really honed my teeth on game back when I was a late teen. Okay, I would go to a lot of the clubs in downtown San Francisco. Okay, one of the very first ones I would go to was a club called the Palladium. You guys who are from San Francisco remember the Palladium back in the 80s. Live 105 KITS used to broadcast live from there. They used to play a lot of new wave stuff. And new wave, for you guys who don't, you kids who don't know, new wave basically became alternative rock in the 90s. It's basically the same thing, new wave, alternative rock. But back in the 80s, we called it new wave. And the club back then that everyone would go to was the Palladium. Okay, the Palladium was the club to go to. That's where I would sneak in as a kid. I had one of those paper IDs. You guys who are old enough to remember, who are Generation X like me, remember we had those like paper thin IDs, and you can kind of erase your birth date. You could kind of change the date and appear to be 18 or 21 years old, whatever you wanted to be, in order to get into these venues, you know. And it wasn't that hard back then. It wasn't hard at all. So I used to go to Palladium. I used to go to a place called 1015 Folsom, which I believe is still there. Palladium's not there anymore, but 1015 Folsom's still there. Sound Factory, DV8. DV8 was the bomb. I used to go there a lot in college, but I really cut my teeth on game back in the late 80s, early 90s at these venues. And I learned a great deal about human behavior. I learned an immense wealth of knowledge about female psychology and how women behave, and how they treat each other, and how they hate each other. A lot of it back then, and even to this very day, is still very socially unacceptable, still very politically incorrect. But that doesn't change the fact that it's factual, right? The fact that it reflects reality. What's socially unacceptable is, most times it's true, right? A lot of people accuse me of generalizing on my channel. Oh, you're generalizing about women. You're generalizing about this or that. And it's like, well, no, duh. That's why it's called a generalization, because it is generally true. Right? Do you understand that? When it comes to topics like these, not only am I putting out the facts and the statistics and showing you the actual studies that have been done on it, but I am reinforcing it with my own personal experiences, having dealt with this stuff as an active pickup artist and as an active self-development coach for the last 2.5 decades. Okay, so I'm coming from a place of experience, and you girls, you cannot trust each other. This is often why too, most women do not want a female boss. Okay, how many of you girls watching right now would prefer a female boss? Okay, and if you have a female boss right now, how many of you would prefer to trade that female boss for a male boss? Okay, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why you would want a male boss is because you know that that male boss is not going to be nearly as anal as your female boss. He's not going to be nearly as critical or as hard on you or as underhanded or as manipulative as your female boss. I mean, most male bosses are very fair, and you know that. You know, besides the fact that you know that if you're a woman, especially if you're attractive, you know that you can manipulate him a lot easier than you can a female boss. Right? Besides all that, you know that female bosses are always going to make you work 1,000 times harder with 1,000 times less appreciation. They're going to add things to your workload that are completely unnecessary just to tie you up, just to annoy you. At the end of the day, can you trust women? You tell me. Based on the studies, based on the research, based on the fact that I just showed you, that women hate each other. Do you think that you could trust other women? No, absolutely not. You guys all hate each other. That's a fact. Okay? It is a fact. And with that said, I'm gonna wrap up tonight's coaching video as I drive off here. So until next time, this is M. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell up top so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video. More importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's very, very important that you guys actually subscribe to my channel. It tells YouTube that you are digging my content, you're loving it, and you want me to produce more of it. So definitely make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. And for you guys who want to support my work, support my content, and all of this red pill knowledge that I'm teaching guys even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the hottest women on the planet. I'm talking 8s, 9s, and 10s. These are the exact same type of women that myself and my students are going out there and approaching and closing every single week. And I kid you not, every single week. And the best part about 7 Months to Mastery is all of the pickup skills and game and tactics that you're going to be learning in 7 Months to Mastery can be used not only to attract beautiful women into your life, but they can also be used to game the world. Okay, because as I teach my students, everything about life and human interaction is pickup. Do not kid yourself. Anytime you're interacting with another human, right, you're doing game, you're doing pickup. Anytime you're doing anything as simple as negotiating a car purchase, which I've pointed out in my Range Rover, I've saved $10,000 on this car. In addition to all the other discounts that I got, I saved another 10 grand to the point where I could turn and make a 10 grand profit instantly if I wanted to. How was I able to do that? I was able to do it because I used the same skills that I use in pickup and game to buy my cars, to buy my houses, to get into better shape, to get 6-figure jobs in corporate America. As you guys know, I worked for a few Fortune 100 companies. I've been hired by several other companies offering me jobs that pay as high as $200,000, $250,000 a year, when there are much more qualified candidates out there. I've used these same skills that I've learned from pickup in my own life, okay, on myself. So you have to understand, these skills that you learn in 7 Months to Mastery are invaluable. They're priceless life skills that you can use to game the world, to own the world. And these are skills that you can also pass down to your sons. You can teach your sons these same exact skills. It's just so powerful. It's so powerful. And the first month is only $1. So if you want to get signed up for 7 Months to Mastery, just click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It only takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.
What's up, man?
Say hi.
Hey, this guy is the best. Everybody watching this guy is the best.
Take it easy. All right, kind of fits the video. I get recognized from YouTube.